patience, or rather lack thereof. So you're afraid that you don't have enough patience. And you think because you don't have enough patience, this is a reason for you not to be able to home educate, because you need extra patience. Maybe you admire others that you see that appear to have the patience that you don't have. Well, first of all, I don't think there's a person alive that has all the patience that we need to have for all the different things that we are dealing with in our everyday, regardless of whether it's home education or not. But I've got good news for you. And that is, the good news is, once again, comes from here. This is always good news. Because he has the patience that we lack. In fact, over and above and adequate. So if we're feeling a lack in patience and I don't have the patience to deal with this matter or that matter, well, there's an answer. The answer is pray, go to God, ask for his patience. I mean, I know he knows how many times I've done that. I've gone, oh, Lord, I can't deal with this. My patience is at the end. And then call on him. I don't know why we always think to call on him when we're at the end, but not before. But at the end, call on him, please help me. Give me the patience, the extra patience I need to get through this, that I'm struggling with, that I feel completely inadequate in not having sufficient patience. And what happens? Because I call on God, he hears my call and he answers. And I found myself, interestingly enough, having the patience now that I need to persevere in the thing that I felt that I was lacking patience in. So one of the reasons that moms have for this fear, their reason for the fear, is that when their children are at home in the afternoons after school, their patience is very, very short. They just feel that they can't deal with all the various things that are cropping up in the day. And I actually think that those mothers have it tougher, to be honest, than the mom at home, home educating. And yet the mom who isn't at home educating her children thinks that the one at home has got more patience than her and all the rest of it. So just hear me through on this one. I think when a mom brings her children home from the children being at school, one being in one class and another being in another and another, however many children it is, mom's been busy with other things. Now there's this regrouping that has to happen. The siblings have to get together. They're different ages. They've got different requirements and needs. One's having to get ready for some sport thing the next day, and the other one's struggling with the homework. And mom has to suddenly dive in and be patient in all these different areas. But the mom at home, on the other hand, is sitting from when she rises up till the end of the day, exercising her patience in that scenario. So she just gets good at it. Okay, she's not having to suddenly dive in the deep end every day and sort of struggle and flap about. Okay, so her flapping about actually reduces in her home education. Well, this is what I have witnessed. I mean, I know I'm speaking broadly and I might not apply for every single scenario and situation, but this is my observation. This is what I have seen happening. I haven't just seen it happening. We've had many moms retreats, and I've heard testimonies from moms saying that the thing that she was most afraid of, one of her biggest fears, was patience. And yet she found being at home actually helped her, bringing her children home and then being at home actually helped her patience to grow little bit by little bit, until now she can honestly say she herself can see the fruit of patience much more effectively than what she used to not see it at all, actually. So that I'm hoping that if, first of all, your reason for not going into home education because you're afraid you don't have patience, I'm hoping you will be able to have confidence to know that your patience will grow like all of ours. I mean, before we had babies, we didn't have the same kind of patience until after they were toddlers. I mean, a toddler is hard work. And you have to have a lot of patience with training and potty training and all the various things and it grows us. It grows us in our character as parents and grows our patience. And I just think by being at home with our children helps to grow that characteristic in all of us. Another thing I can say is when our patience has gone off the edge and we're completely lacking patience and we haven't been patient like we should be and have the example of Christ like we'd like to, there's absolutely nothing wrong with sitting down with the children saying that example you just saw of my lack of patience is the very thing that we need to be working at, why we need to be patient, because we don't want that kind of fruit in our home. We don't want the fruit of impatience in our home and together. So let's help one another to grow in patience. Well, I can't help but mention Konos at the moment because it's just so integral in everything we've done. But when we were doing Konos Learning Lifestyle patience was one of the units. We didn't do it once, we did it repeatedly through our course of home education years because we needed to grow in patience at a deeper and deeper level. So patience is not a reason to not home educate. I mean, a lack of patience is not a reason to not home educate. That's the one. If you're already home educating and you find you're not having the patience in your everyday home education, then I suggest you spend time in the Word. I suggest you call on God. I suggest you get the family together, sit around at the dining room table and say, I'm really struggling with not enough patience in the day. Now, these are the reasons why. And you can bring them, I get impatient over the following things. And then have a family meeting about it, discussion, pray together, find some references in the Word together about what to do about the problem that you are experiencing as lack of patience in the home. And whichever individual, be it yourself or dad or one of the children or a number of us all together, perhaps we're all feeling a bit impatient over something. And I can go further with this topic of patience. In fact, I could talk a lot about this topic of patience, but let me tell you what we did. We actually intentionally put things in place that would make us have to grow in patience. So we would have an event coming up and we would make sure it was further enough away for it to be something that we had to be patient for. So we created scenarios that actually developed patience for all of us, not just targeting a particular individual that seems to be less patient than others in the family. It's a team effort. Let's all help this particular individual. Every time he displays impatience, let's help him because we want the fruit of patience in our home altogether. And it requires work. It requires intentional focus on the lack and help to bring the fruit that you want into place. And so create situations. I refer back to Konos again because I know there's a whole unit on all the different character traits, patience, obedience, attentiveness, and so on. And so we would practice patience. We didn't just wait for it to happen or just feel impatient and feel annoyed that we're impatient or feel let down or guilty or all the negative emotions that just flood in when we've had a moment of impatience. Take that moment of impatience and do something constructive with it. Repent, talk about it, and make a scenario whereby now that created impatience. Let's do that again. That very thing that created the impatient fruit to burst forth, and let's exercise our patience in that situation, and let's see what the fruit of patience can look like and what a blessing it is. That's the greatest gift of it all, is that when we are exercising patience, we are blessed. God blesses us when he sees us being patient people. That's what he wants, because he wants to bless us. So I hope that fear is now dispelled.